So welcome to Cluster's Hot Tech Expo, held appropriately on a day of nice weather. It's a different sort of event for us. We normally choose a single topic, theme it around that, and then have a chance for people to get a few talks and interact afterwards. Tonight we're going to give you a splash. We're going to basically take you through a series of presentations focused around 7 areas that we think are going to impact positively or negatively all the large corporates. Ben Millar, please, from IDECSI, will talk to you about, amongst other things, making sure no one can hack your emails.
Good evening. Please raise your hand if you have a professional interest in cybersecurity. Okay, all of those who didn't raise your hand are wrong. You have to have professional interest in cybersecurity. Cybersecurity threats are increasing. We all know that, no matter what our technical knowledge of the subject. What we don't necessarily realize is they're increasing not just because the bad guys are doing stuff, because businesses are getting more complex. They have more people, they have more tools and applications, and several folks here have talked to us about some of those, and you have more ways of accessing those tools and applications, and some folks here have talked about those as well. There is a massive scaling in the complexity of the organization, and therefore in the ways it can be attacked. And companies don't want to, can't afford to scale their security investment and their security team at the same level. It would be ridiculous. You'd end up spending 3/4 of your money on security. But there's one piece of the business which does scale with the threat, and that's the people. The bigger your company gets, the more people you have, the more people you have who can help you with cybersecurity. So, my point at the beginning, you're all involved, you all should be involved, but how many of you think you have the tools to be involved in cybersecurity of your company? Not a surprising answer, a couple of folks there. So, the key thing here is we, as an industry, a cybersecurity industry, but then we as a bunch of companies, no matter what industry we're in, we have a responsibility to bring those users in, and we need to do it in 2 ways. The first one is we need to identify the attack based on the user. All the stuff that goes on in cybersecurity today happens in a big dark room in the back with some really, really smart folks and some incredibly expensive AI and some quite long lead times to find really what's happening. We need to change that to say, hey, Mr. User, hey, Mrs. User, this thing has happened. Do you recognize it? Is it your thing you've done, or is this actually a problem? And by bringing that message to the user, you suddenly get a vast number of people who can actually help answer the question, a vast number of people who can see what the problems are, and you can much, much quicker identify those breaches. So as the business scales, as the threat scales, the bad guys scale, also your ability to defend the company can scale as the users get engaged. Very generic stuff. As Rob says, whether it's email, whether it's SharePoint, whether it's SAP, whether it's any collaboration, ERP platform, any type of proprietary platform, industry-specific platform, the same issues exist. You need to be able to say what's happening based on what the user's doing and ask the user to confirm whether it's good or bad. That's basically what we're involved in, and it's the vision that we have for cybersecurity and vision brought into by lots of our customers. And if you're interested in knowing more about it, then I'm very happy to talk about it. Thank you very much.